All right, as I let my sausages cool, let us talk about technology. Now, it is no secret that AMD and Intel have both put out brand new ultra powerful CPU chips that require a great deal more power, a great deal more infrastructure, a great deal more throughput, and also requires faster and bigger RAM. The implications of that are that I'm looking, and many other people like me, are looking at having to have brand new systems, whole new systems. Because, see, with the Ryzen chip, the old DDR3 memory that I currently have in my box ain't going to cut it. It's not fast enough. The disk hard drives that I have currently, the standard, normal, everyday hard drive, not going to work. It's not fast enough. The gaming memory that I have, even though it's good memory, is probably not going to be fast enough. The motherboard is probably not going to be fast enough. It's going to require a motherboard with more throughput. So, basically, this next build isn't going to be an upgrade. It's going to be a whole new box, a whole new build. It has to be. Now, in the interest of not being a total dick, I'm going to warn you. I'm going to warn you that you need to look seriously at replacing all of your normal disk type hard drives with SSD drives. Now you say, well, Vaughn, why is that? Because the situation is this. Them old disk hard drives are not going to be able to keep up with newer CPU chips and whatnot that's coming out. They're just not. Okay, they're going to seize up, or they're going to fail in some other way, or you're just going to lose all your fucking data. All right, because liken it to this. All right, the Ryzen chip and the DDR4 RAM and your motherboard are way the fuck over there. And your disk drive hard drives, your normal standard everyday hard drive from WD or Seagate or whoever, is way the fuck back here in a rowboat. All right, your CPU's in a fucking spaceship, and it's light years out that way, and your fucking hard drives are in a fucking rowboat back here. Okay, not gonna happen, man. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, you know, and I'm sure I'm not telling you anything that Tom's Hardware wouldn't say too. It's just that's just the way it is, man. That's the nature of the beast. So you need to look seriously at switching all of your data from the standard hard disk drive to an SSD, preferably a large one. Now, what does this mean? This means that hard disk drive companies need to lower them damn prices, as in yesterday. The prices of SSD have been high long enough. The SSD companies, whomever they may be, Kingston, whatever, Iowa, y'all have made plenty of money on SSDs. It's time to lower the price. Because these standard hard disk drive with the metal discs in it is not going to be able to perform. It's going to crash. People are going to lose thousands and thousands and thousands of terabytes of data. It has got to be priced lower. All right. We need the prices of the SSDs comparable to the disk drives, if not lower, so that people can make the transition from the standard hard disk drive to the SSD drive. Otherwise, there's going to be a whole shitload of problems. Now, I'm saying this a little bit in advance of itself because we're not quite there yet, but we will be soon. We will be soon. And so now is the time to start thinking about this. Now is the time to start lowering them damn prices. All right, you guys have rode the wave. All right, all you SSD drive companies have rode the wave. Kingston, AOA, Seagate, WB. All of you have rode the wave. Okay, and that's wonderful. And you all made a shit ton of money. Now it's time to lower the prices. Come on, we've got to do this because people are going to lose data. Like I said, by the terabyte. It's just millions and millions of terabytes of data are going to get lost. Maybe even forever. I don't know. But the point is, the prices of the SSDs have to come down now so that we can make the transition now. Now is the time to make the transition from hard disk drive to SSD. The problem is that the 1 terabyte to 6 terabyte SSDs are still way up in the stratosphere as far as price is concerned. That's got to change. Those prices have got to come down now. They've got to come down now so that people can transition now. Because it's going to be too late when we're sitting there having our hard disk drives fail. It's a little late then. All right. Because these hard disk drives are not going to be able to keep up with the next generation CPUs and memory and whatnot. They're just not. All right. Now, speaking of memory, the new Ryzen and the new i9 pretty much require the DDR4 memory. The DDR3 memory is just too slow. Well, Von Helton, I can get it to run. Well, you might be able to get it to run. You might. Problem is you're not going to be able to keep your shit running, though. And what are you going to do to that memory? Are you going to fry the memory as a result? Possibly. It can't keep up, dude. It's like trying to compare it's like trying to compare a sports car to a tortoise. Okay, no, damn it, it's not. This, we are making a major transition here. The advent of the i9 and the Ryzen chips, these newer generation chips that require DDR4 memory, are a new animal. Okay, we're entering into a totally new paradigm, technologically wise, and we're going to need those SSD prices down immediately, lower than the current. Okay, let's say a 6 terabyte WB or WD rather hard disk drive run me maybe 6 terabytes. Run me maybe what 400 or 500 at the most, something like that. All right, we need the 6 terabyte SSD at that same price or below, preferably below. It needs to be about, okay, if the hard disk drive is say 6, I'd like to see the SSD of the same equivalent be about 4. All right, why? Why is that so important? It's important because people have got to make the transition. If I've got a 6 terabyte hard drive in my computer, and I know these next generation chips is gonna fry the shit out of it, I've got to transition to SSDs now. Now is the time. I can't stress that enough. Now is the time when we make the transition from the hard disk drive to the SSD drive, because the hard disk drives are not going to be able to hang, man. They're not. They're just not going to be able to hang. Okay, we've got to be able to make that transition. And like I said, you can go talk to anybody you want over at Tom's Hardware. They're going to agree with me, man. Truth is the truth, whether you like it or not. Yes, it's a bitch, because you're going to be out about $4 or $5 grand for a new system. You can't go to Walmart for this one, motherfuckers. It's just not going to happen. All right. The Walmart Blue Light Special and Kmart Blue Light Specials ain't going to be able to hang. All right, they're just not. We're talking about a whole new technological paradigm here. Okay, that's you get to those the 088, for example. That was a monumental paradigm shift in technology, and we're having one of those. We're having one of those moments. All right, we're having a 088 moment. Damn, that sounds crazy as hell, kinky as hell, creepy as hell, even maybe. I don't know. Anyway, point being is that we are in a major technological transition, and hard disk drives are not cutting it. They're not going to be able to cut it, and now is the time to seriously start thinking about getting out of your hard disk drives and getting over to SSDs, because the next generation of chips is going to leave your hard disk drive in the dust. Like I said, it's either going to lock up or it's going to corrupt all your data, or it's just going to fucking die. Just give up the ghost, man. Because it's not going to be able to hang. All right. Hard disk drives back here, CPU, memory, motherboard, all the rest way up there. It's not going to be able to compete. Not going to be able to hang with it. Even if you could get the damn thing to run, your hard disk drive would bog you down so much that it would be like being on the system I have now, as opposed to the newer paradigm that's coming. So even if you got it to work, what have you got? You don't have anything. It's going to be slow as fuck. Everything is moving on. Everything is going faster, 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 faster. Everything is moving faster. And those hard disk drives are just not going to be able to compete. Now, by hard disk drive, what do I mean? Okay, inside your standard hard drive, there's, I think, what is it, 3 or 4 metal discs. All right, they look like CD-ROMs, but they're made out of metal. And there's like 4 of them motherfuckers, and there's a little spindle on there, just like in an old-fashioned turntable, an old-fashioned record player. Got a little spindle on there, and them fuckers are turning at 7,200 RPMs. And those types of hard drives have served us well for millennia, literally. There's a problem though. The problem is that format of hard drive is not going to be able to keep up with the new CPUs that are coming down the pike. It's just not. And the new memory that's coming down. It's just not. All right. It served us well. There's nothing wrong with the design or with that particular platform. It's just that it's long on the tooth and it's not going to be able to keep up. Simple as that. So, we need those prices down. The sooner the better. How we coax them to get the prices down, I do not know. Or they could, out of the goodness of their hearts, do it for us. But the prices need to come down, irregardless, because otherwise people are going to lose shit tons of data, and that's just the truth. So anyway, I just thought I'd have a little technological heart-to-heart with you, because we are entering into a new paradigm here with the Ryzen and the i9s, the later version of the i9s that require the DDR4 RAM. And that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is. And these old hard disk drives with the metal discs in them, the 4 metal discs in them, are just not going to keep up. They're just not, man. They're just not going to be able to keep up. And we all need to transit, myself included, we all need to transition to SSDs as soon as possible. But the prices are way up here in the damn stratosphere for these SSDs, particularly the terabyte SSDs. You need to get those costs down so that people can make the transition without losing their data. Okay, we're talking about a potential catastrophe here. Okay, people could lose trillions and trillions and trillions of terabyte data. No joke. We've got to be able to transition now. Now is the time. When we have the ability to transition, now is the time to do so. But we got to get some prices down. Okay, I know I'm repeating myself. I'm doing it for a reason, so that you'll retain it. And so that you'll hopefully tell others, okay, because we need to make sure that the companies understand that we have to transition now. Okay, I can't stress that enough. We have to transition now. Okay. Anyways, and like I said, myself included. Okay, I've got the old style hard disk drives. I've got a couple of 2 terabyte drives in there. I've got a 1 terabyte drive in there, and I got to do the same thing. I got to switch over to SSDs too. All right, so I'm not just talking to you guys. I'm talking to myself as well. Anyways, I just thought I'd have a technological heart-to-heart with you and bring you up to speed on what's happening in computers. This could signal the end of the Kmart and Walmart blue light special computer, because you can't make these newer types of computers cheap. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to throw a Ryzen chip in there and a 1080 and a 5 or 6 terabyte SSD. No, you're not going to be able to do that for $500, man. You're just not. Send me hate mail. I don't care. You're just not going to be able to do it. So we've got to upgrade. It could be the end of the Kmart and Walmart blue light special. Could very well be, because there's no way in hell you're going to build a new rig with Ryzen for $500. I just don't see that happening. I mean, fuck the Ryzen chips. Some of the Ryzen chips are $500. Some of the bigger ones, they're $500 all by themselves. But you're going to buy a whole computer, a whole Ryzen computer for $500? I don't see it happening. I'm looking at my next build costing me anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, and that's just barely to squeak by. All right, that's not the top of the line and everything the fastest and hardest that I can get. No, that's just the basics, dude. So yes, we could easily see. Now, is it on a scale of Y2K? Yeah. Yeah, actually. Because if these hard drives are trying to spin to keep up with the speed of these newer CPUs, memory, video cards, etc., they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to do it. They're just going to be too damn slow. Even if you manage to get it to run, it's still going to be too damn slow. Everybody's way the fuck over there, and your hard disk drive is back here. Okay, it's not going to work. Just not going to happen. And like I said, you can go to Tom's Hardware, ask anybody at Tom's Hardware you want, they'll tell you the same damn thing. They'll tell you the same damn thing. We are in a transitional phase. Okay, we are. There's no getting around that. We are in a transitional phase. We are going from DDR3 RAM to DDR4 RAM. The DDR3 RAM will no longer be able to keep up. The hard disk drives will no longer be able to keep up. They are gone the way of the dodo bird, and now it's time to transition to SSDs, DDR4 RAM, and etc. etc. Oh, and the new requirements. Well, I don't know if it's a requirement, but it seems to be. I've noticed the newer motherboards out. They don't have 32 gig of RAM now. It's 64. 64. Yeah. There's 2 banks now of 4. Okay, on your motherboard, you have your CPU, and then you have a bank of slots for your memory, four slots for your memory, 32 gig in total. I was looking at the newer boards. Newer boards have banks on both sides of the CPU with 4 slots each for 64 gig of RAM. Wow. Okay, so, trust me, trust me, your hard disk drive, if it doesn't fail, it's going to be so damn slow that you might as well not even upgrade. You might as well just try to milk your 8350 or 8370 for all it's worth, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get anything out of it, man. Your hard drive is bogging you down. It's just the truth. But and like I said, I'm preaching to myself too on this matter, because I don't have a single SSD drive, not one. So I need to do the same damn thing. Problem is that I've got about 6 or 8 terabytes of stuff here. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, because the terabyte SSDs are still way up there in the damn stratosphere. We've got to get them prices down, people. And I don't know how to do it, to be honest with you. I don't know if we send a letter to some of these companies and say, hey, would you mind lowering the price so we can transition from hard disk drives to SSDs if it ain't too much trouble? Because they've rode a wave now. They've rode the wave of the SSD. The SSD has been hanging way up there, for quite some time now, and they've made shit tons of money. So now, come on, it's time to get those prices down. It's time to get the old common man here to be able to change their shit, because I foresee a huge loss of data uh, within the next 2 or 3 transitions. A huge loss of data if people are not able to upgrade to SSD drives. That's what I see. All right, and I don't think I'm wrong. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You have a pleasant day. Better tomorrow. Bye.
Bye bye, Boo Bear. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.